Hello and welcome to the bonus component of this tutorial. So if you're watching this video first, I've just completed a whole series on how to make a transparent background using Photoshop. Earlier on in the piece, I did say that I wanted to introduce people to another software that I use to remove the background of images. And that software is called Canva. So in this video, it's going to be about how to make a transparent background in Canva or how to remove the background in Canva. And yeah, it's just an alternate method. So in short, Canva it's an all-in-one graphic design tool. Okay, it's got templates for brochures, it's got templates for YouTube channel art, it's got templates for Instagram posts, it's got logo templates, it's got absolutely everything. And the cool thing about Canva is it allows people with basic computer skills, you don't have to be an expert, to create graphic design outcomes without needing to hire or be a graphic designer, which compared to like years ago, something like this never existed and you would have to go to a graphic designer. Now, Canva does have its like limits. It won't give you the same result as what you would expect from a graphic designer, but the templates and the tools that Canva does have, it'll give you a professional job really fast. And that includes making the background transparent on files. So I'm just going to throw this in as a bonus. And if you haven't got Canva, I would suggest you go and do it. They do have free accounts. However, to do this tutorial today, like remove the background in Canva, you will need a Canva Pro account. So at this point, at the time of filming it, I think it's $17.99 for a Canva Pro account. And that is a prerequisite for doing this tutorial. The other thing I wanted to mention as well is the $17.99, it is actually a little bit more expensive than Adobe Photoshop's photography bundle. I've got the photography bundle because I don't actually need all the other Adobe bells and whistles. I generally just like working with images and Lightroom to edit all of my stuff, and that's $14.99 a month. The people that I would recommend Canva for the most are probably sole traders who are doing business on their own, or small business owners that have a small team that need to do large outputs of graphic work, but might not necessarily have the budget to do it. And sometimes when you're a small business owner, you don't have time to dig around in Photoshop and work out what every tool does. It's just sometimes not convenient. So depending on your needs will depend on whether you need Photoshop to remove the background of images or whether you want to go with Canva. So without further ado, let's get into the first step, which is document setup in Canva. Okay, so once you're in the Canva interface, it's going to look a lot like this. Oh, it's so great using Canva as well because I'm in the actual browser, so you can see my face the whole time. What we're going to do is go straight up to create design. And from here, it's going to be an overwhelming amount of options of what you could create for. But we're going to go custom dimension because we're working with a custom file. And I just like working with custom because it means we can do things the way we want. So I'm going to click custom. And in this tutorial, I'm going to make my canvas way bigger than what I need it to be. Okay. I really only need the canvas to be 1000 by 1000 because the image that I'm making, it's, just for a little tiny object, but I'm going to make it 2000 by 2000. What this is going to do is give me a complete square canvas to work with, but because the pixels are so big, when we load our image in, the image is also going to be big as well, which is going to give Canva the best chances of cutting our image out really smoothly in one shot. If the image is too small, let's say I went 400 pixels by 400 pixels, the canvas is going to be this little tiny thing, and when you load your image into it, the image is also going to be really pixelated, which is going to lower the effectiveness of removing the background, if that makes sense. So I'm going ahead with 2000 by 2000, and I'm going to click create new design. Once we've got our square canvas, we want to navigate to our image, and all you need to do is drag and drop straight into Canva like that. Boom, and there's Ditto. So what I'm going to do is put him up the top there. I'm going to expand that out so he's the entire size of the stage, and we're now ready to start working on this. So the first thing you want to do is click your image and it'll select it. The way you know your image is selected is by this blue line appearing, and you'll also have these white dots on all corners of your image. You've also got these little tabs here, which are actually cropping tabs, but we're not using them right at this second, okay? So once we've got our image selected, we're gonna go edit image. And then what will pop up immediately is this little edit image toolbar. And immediately, if you've been in here before, you'll see recently used, and it'll show you all the different tools that you've recently used. So you can see here I've used Trippy filters and I've used BG remover. In this tutorial, all we're interested in is using the background remover, okay? So if you haven't been in here before, these won't be there, and we're just gonna click background remover, and you can literally watch it do its thing. 3, 2, 1, it's assessing, it's going, where are all the pixels? I might move my face up here so you can see me. Hello. Ta-da! And just like in Photoshop, you can see that it's cut our image out straight away. And by the looks of it, if I look there, it actually looks like Canva has done a better job of cutting out our subject from the background in one click than Photoshop did. If you go back and watch the other couple of episodes that I made in this series, you'll see that Photoshop actually at the bottom there made jagged lines and we had to go in and manually wipe them out. But right now, it looks like Canva's done a spot on job of removing our subject from the background, and I probably wouldn't edit this. However, let's say that Canva didn't do such a great job at cutting this out and there was all jagged bottoms like there was in Photoshop. You do have this panel over here just after you remove the background. And this is the erase and restore options. Pretty much what they are is they're a paintbrush that allows you to come in and add more or erase more. It works very similarly to the layer mask option that we used in Photoshop as well. However, because I'm happy with this cutout, this looks like perfect to me. I'm not even going to bother touching it. So now we've got our image cut out and we're happy with it. You're going to notice again that we've got all of this spare blank space that we just don't want. So we're going to get rid of it. But to fix that, we're going to click crop. And what we're doing here is we're cropping our subject. We're not cropping the canvas, we're cropping the actual subject that we loaded into Canva. So I'm going to drag this down just like I did in Photoshop as well. I'm going to make sure that this crop is as tight as possible. Yep. Yippity yip yip. Nice and close to the subject. Beautiful. And I'm going to click done. Now you'll see the selection lines and the dots are very, very close to the subject. And all you need to do from here is move your subject relatively into the middle so you can move it around the canvas. And when you see these two pink lines, it means the subject that you're holding is directly in the center of that canvas now. And then to get rid of all of this extra space around the sides, we're going to click Option, or if you're on a PC, you click Alt. So click that button and then grab one of these corners and stretch it out. What holding Alt does is it evenly expands the subject in all directions. If you don't hold Alt while you're doing it, it only expands it in the direction that you pull. So holding Alt or Option, we're going to expand our our object out. And I might just move that around there. Yeah, that looks pretty good to me. Cool. Now we've removed our subject from our background. We've blown the size up so it's very clear to see. And now it's time to export it. Before you export though, you will want to name your file appropriately. So I'm going to call this one Ditto Transparent Background Canva. Cool. So now I've got my file named correctly. We know that it's the Canva version. And the first thing we're going to do is we're going to go share and we're going to go download. And what that's going to do is bring up your downloading options. Here, you want to make sure that PNG is selected. For the sizing, remember how I set it to 2000 by 2000? Well, currently that's true, but if I want to make it to 1000 by 1000, which originally is what I said we would want, we can actually just drag that down and it's going to export us a version that's 1000 by 1000 pixels. You also need to make sure that transparent background is clicked. If it's not clicked, you'll export this white background along with your image. So they're the three settings that you need to do. You just need to make the image the size that you want. Again, I'm going for 1000 by 1000, set PNG, transparent background, click download. And that'll start downloading to your computer, which inevitably will most likely go to, hey, look, there's the Ditto STL file. Hello. It'll go to your downloads folder where I've got lots of things going on here. Ditto transparent background Canva. Is it the right one? Yep, we've got a transparent background there. Looks sexy, looks professional, loves it. And what I'm going to do, my best suggestion is to drag that straight into the folder that you're working in so that you've always got it organized and accessible at all times. Now we're back over on my blog post. So we went through all of these steps. Great. And when we get to the end, whether you used Photoshop or you used Canva to remove the background from your subject, you should have a PNG file that looks nice, clear, professional, and ready to use for whatever you need to use it for, whether that is uploading your image to Amazon, whether it's to use it on a collage or something. I don't know what you want to use your PNG for, but you should have a beautiful photo like this. So this is the Photoshop version. This is the Canva version. As you can see between them, there's very, very minimal difference. Actually, the Canva version, I've got to say, compared to the Photoshop version, like this one, I did with my bare hands and it looks good, but Canva is a machine and it did pretty much the same job that I did. So I kind of like Canva a little bit better in this instance. I'd be really interested to see, like, I've never really removed the background on Canva with a complex background before, so I think it would be interesting to check that out. But anyway, for this tutorial, that's pretty much the end. Please make sure you give this video and all of the other videos in this particular series a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. If you do want more software tutorials in future, I'm planning to do way more than just Photoshop. I really want to make good series that help people get shit done, essentially. That's the whole goal of the Software Junkie. Easy software tutorials that help you get shit done. So that's my main thing. If there's any software tutorials in particular that you want made, make sure you let me know in the comments section. And if I know how to use that software, I'll make some tutorials on it. But for now, that's all. And good luck with your PNG cutting out. That's right, the original file of this perfect ditto will be available in the description box as well if you want to go and download it. I don't mind if you just want to practice your background removal skills. It really doesn't bother me. I've put it there for everyone to use. So yeah, enjoy, and I'll see you in my next tutorial series. Bye.